The next tutorial that I promised you. So now we've got the form that we created on our previous tutorial, as you can remember, and we've got our database, a little database that we created on our other um, previous tutorial. So now we want to focus on how do we get the data from this, as you can see there. How do we then click save and get that to go to PHP? To go to the database. Sorry. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to be able to connect to the server which has the database. Who is the server? MySQL in this case. So as we connect to MySQL, then we can be able to select one of these databases that we're going to use to insert data in. Right. Now, we've got a problem that most of our books are using MySQL instead of MySQLi, and most of our servers are using MySQL instead of MySQLi. So the trouble that we've got now is that PHP, or MySQL for that matter, let's say PHP has decided to stop um, supporting MySQL connections, which means we now have to learn using MySQLi instead of MySQL. So from now on, we are going to connect to databases using MySQL instead of MySQLi instead of MySQL. So one thing that I normally do is you create a class or a file that you're going to use to connect, that you're going to use to do most of your stuff, right? Which means in this class, or in this file, I'm going to connect to the database, right? I'm going to say connection is equals to MySQL I connect. What does MySQL I connect require? It requires me to declare the following. I need the host. Where is that server? I need the username. I need the password. What is the username of this? It's called localhost. That can still work. So in your case, you'll enter your own. I can connect using root, and I have a password called. You need to be sure of these. In most cases, you won't be having a password, but I do have one, which I'm definitely going to update after this tutorial because I don't want troubles. Okay, so when you get here, you're going to specify these things. You're going to specify the host. You're going to specify the username. You're going to specify the password. And then when you need to remember to close this so you can not have issues. Then you need to have a database. Like I said, you need connecting so that you can decide what database are you going to use. Which database do you want to use to perform your query? Which database do you want to manipulate? In this case, we've got new DB test. So we're going to say it's called new DB test. And you're going to enter your own database there. Right. Got an option of saying if connection, right? Because connection is an object, so we use object-oriented because that's how MySQLi was designed. So we're going to say if connection MySQL error number. I think that's the case. I'm also still learning how to use that. Exit. Oh, Do not just exit. Tell us why you exiting. So we're going to say print error, and we're going to print that I think it's my error rate. Error. Save and just be sure of that. Okay, before we do that, we need to link this. Remember we said we're putting it in a separate file so that we can put it in this and link it with it, so that in every file that requires to connect to the database and the server, we're going to just link this with that file. So how we do that is we include what is that, connector.php. I close that. Then we go back, we refresh that. We say we want to resend that information. It says, let me remember that. MySQL I. Remember, this used to be MySQL error in PHP. So we need to find out what is it called in MySQL. Okay, it's called connect error, which means that's the error that you get when you fail to connect. We come here and we say that if connector, if this connector has that, then tell us that we had a problem there. The connector is error. This should be able to give us the latest error that we had. We go and define variable connector. That means I need to, there's nothing called connector, so we have to correct that and call it connection as we did instead, because remember this is the object that we are busy with. So everything that we need to do with MySQL connect, so that we can be able to have this as an instant of that connection. So this will check, do I have any connection error? Okay, no. If I do, then else it should print good stuff. Connect. Now, don't mind this error, that's just for testing. Then I run that again. And it says MySQL connect is not found. Then we go back to our manual to remember how that is used. And it says new MySQL added. Why is it that I don't have it? I don't understand. Let's see. MySQL connect not found. Where is that? And then 8. Okay, that's it. We made a mistake. You should just say new MySQL I, because the class is called MySQL I. So that is not gonna have to work. And good stuff. I'm connected now. So this means we're able to connect now, and let's explain that. Let's go through that again. So we've got these details, that, the username and the password and the host, which we need for us to connect to this host that hosts all the databases. Using this username and that password, we are able to create an instance of MySQL I, which is called connection in our case. Then we can come here and say connection, help us check if there's any errors. Let's see if this one works, and we find that. Okay, so it doesn't have that support, so we're going to continue calling it MySQL connect error. Oh, sorry, MySQL I instead of MySQL, because we're not using MySQL anymore. Good. So we're not using MySQL anymore because we cannot continue teaching something that's outdated. So when you're done testing your connection, you can somewhat remove that, because you don't want to all the time print, yes, I was connected. You don't want to do that all the time. But you need to exit, because whatever we're going to do below will lead us into errors if that connection did not succeed. But that's highly unlikely, but just have that for heaven's sake, for safety's sake, for that matter. Then you come here, you're going to select the database. And here you were establishing connection to the server. Now we've selected the database. We're selecting the database now with say db is equals to MySQL. Oh no, we're not going to say MySQL. We're going to say connection. We say select db. What is the database we want to use? We go back again to make sure. It's called new DB test. So we're going to say new DB test. That is. Then we say if DB, then just print connected, else print, sorry, there's nothing there today, that print error, and give us that error. We need to copy connection error so we can be able to print the error. Save. Go back again. Browse that. Unexpected else. We go back to find out. Okay, it's because of that semicolon there. We try that again. Okay, connected means it was connected. If we try to select one, it's gonna say I don't know this database. Error, unknown database, new DB1. So this is safe in case you don't know, or no, you're not sure of that, or the database, you're not sure if you have sent it or not. So you just keep that. After connecting to the database, that's when you will now create a query. So before you create a query, you want to collect information, right? But you don't necessarily want to collect the information here, because you want this just to be for connecting to the database. So this file is complete as it is. All you do is you add it there. Then this is where you collect information here, right? By collecting information, you need to first say, was my form sent? Which method am I using? I'm using post. So I'm going to collect and validate information here. And validate information. But before you do that, you need to make sure that the form has been sent first. So you say check the form has been sent. Right, so we come here, we're now collecting the information. What do we want to collect? We want to collect the name at, right. So we go there, we copy that, we put it like that, and we remove that guy, and we copy it across, and we put it as many times as we want. We want to remove the excess ones. Then we say, okay, we've got the name here. I normally prefer putting this, naming this exactly as they're named in the database. So I'm going to go there and check, okay, in the database I've got name, surname, gender. So I'm going to have name, I already have name. I'm going to have it as txt name. I'm going to have this as txt surname. I'm going to remember to update this one. This is surname. I'm going to have it as what do I have next? I've got gender. I'm going to have gender here. I didn't call it txt anything. I just called select name. Maybe we should call it cell gender because it's a select. So I'm going to call it cell gender here as well. And I'm going to check again email. I'm going to see, do I have txt email? Nope, I'm going to have txt email now. And I'm going to double click that, copy it, I'm going to put it over there. I'm going to check again. I've got mobile and suburb. I've got mobile. I'm going to have txt mobile. Mobile. I'm going to have txt mobile here as well. Then I'm going to have, check again, I've got suburb. I'm going to have txt suburban. I'm going to copy that, I'm going to put it there, I'm going to put it there, I'm going to remove the txt from here. Right, I'm going to come over there again to see what do I have now, password. I'm going to have txt password. I'm going to copy this, I'm going to put it there. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna remove txt password there. Then I'm gonna have comments. Gonna have comments. Gonna remove that. Then the comments of the comments. Gonna go back to that. Remember, we don't have comments here, so I'm gonna comment on the structure. I'm gonna say after everything, I want a comments section. I'm gonna have that as text only. I don't have to specify how much text I'm gonna have because doesn't matter. It's text, so it takes any amount of data. Cool. Step number one: input has been collected, connection has been established, so we're good. Now all we need to do now is the next step: validate the data. I'm not gonna do that with you. You can do. I'm not gonna cover that in this lesson. Validate the data means check for mandatory fields. If you require the name to be there, you must check. Make sure that the name is entered. It doesn't have numbers and things like that. So that you can do on your own. Validate the collected input. Then in here, I'm going to now create the SQL statement which we need to run to insert the data. In this case, I'm going to call it SQL. I'm going to put those two. Now, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the database that I want. I'm going to go to insert. I'm gonna just type anything I wanna type there, anything I can type. Remember, there's no validations here because the validations should be done on the back, on the using PHP. Now I've got all of these. Now I can see how my values look like, which means I need to copy this. Right, I copy that. Oh, let me see, can I create PHP code? See, now I can copy it as PHP. And copy that and go and use it in a PHP statement. Come here, I use it inside there. So insert into users, whatever. If I remove ID here, it means I get rid of null there. If I don't want to remove it, I can leave it there and still leave null. The null is good because it doesn't insert anything. It leaves the server to insert it itself on its own. So all I do now is I replace these values with what they have. In this case is what? Name. The next one is surname. I look at this order. The next one is gender. The next one is email. The next one is mobile. The next one is suburb. The next one is what? Password. And the next one is comment. Right? We can even leave that if we want it, or we can remove it or whatever. Now that we've got our SQL statement, it says that reads, okay, insert into users, values. Remember, if I don't specify these guys here, it will mean I need to insert everything there, including the ID or any other stuff. But if I specify there, I'm going to have to specify all the fields here that are matching of those fields that I specified over there. So it's called a value pair combination, or a field pair combination, field value pair combination. Then it's time to run the query now. How do you run the query? You say, I'm going to have a variable called result set. You can have anything if you want to. Then I'm going to call my connection. I need to go, oh, I'm not sure. Okay, this is supposed to work. I believe it's gonna work. My connection should call query for me. What are we querying? The SQL. Let me check if that is true. Then we can print. We can have a variable, or we can print, because we will do. We don't mind. Print user added. If you want to style it, you can put it in a variable and take the variable and put it anywhere inside your HTML. But in this case, I don't want to style it, so I'm just going to print anywhere I want to print. Print. Remember, when nothing has happened, we print error, and we print the latest my SQLi error, so that we can know what is it that went wrong. So this should be enough. But then this, when you don't specify anything there, it means each time the form is being sent, that's going to happen. Or if you want to specify it, you can just say if this button exists. That will help you if you've got multiple save buttons that you are dealing with. Otherwise, there's no need for that. Then we go back there, we say refresh. Okay, you do. Now let's cancel that. Let's add proper data. we've got those, we've got his surname, his female, we've got his email at gmail.com, we've got his cell phone, we've got he lives in Pretoria, and this is his password, and this is his comments. Let's see what happened. Okay, undefined txt name. Let's check the database because it still says user added. Let's go to that, and let's go to this. Okay, so those, it means our insert statement does work, but it just inserted some of the values it does not find and all that, so we need to find out why is that. So we're going to go to the form and check and correct ourselves. So now we've got method that posts, type name, type name, type name, type name, type name. Why is it that it says, okay, let's go back to it and find out what is wrong. Please note how I troubleshoot these things so that you can be able to get familiar with how troubleshooting works. In this case, I'm not sure why is it that says it does not find txt name. Let's find out. Let me go back to it again. On post of that, it doesn't find the stuff. Why is this? Because we used the post method. Okay, so when we do that, we're going to stop the running of the script by doing that, and I'm just gonna put rs is equals to true so that it can continue saying edit. Then I'm going to dump because I want to know what is happening to it and why is it that I cannot get values from it. It only has save txt name comments. And I would like to know, that's amazing. Okay, from there, this is where you see only has comments, only has save, only has name. We try to find out why is it that it has only those three and the rest it does not have. I'm really not sure what is happening to it. Okay, I'm going to check one by one. Name, input that, p, that. Do we have this there? We don't have the select as well. Okay, so we go back. Don't have the select. We've got that. We don't have the mobile. We don't have that. We don't have that. We do have this, which is amazing. We do have that. So we only have txt name. I'm just not sure why would that be the case. Let's save that and see. It's very amazing. I'm gonna need to do a lot of scrutinizing here for me to understand why is it that I don't have my fields. Okay, the form is okay, the action is okay, the method is okay. Why is it that I don't have those? And I do have the comments. My form is okay. Really not amazed why is it I only have txt name and comments and I don't have surname, I don't have that. I only have save. What is wrong? Name, save, gender. Okay, I'm just gonna remove these guys over there. I'm gonna remove these guys over here. I'm gonna leave save. I just wanna see, can we have TXT surname at least? Okay, it's the same there. TXT name, it's the same. Name and surname are the same. Okay, save that and let's see. I'm really worried right now. I don't have TXT surname still. I don't have TXT name, comments, and save. But I do not have comments anymore. Okay, those are the stuff that I sent. Let's see what happens. Okay, maybe this one. I'm gonna remember I disabled the saving, so it's not gonna save this anymore. Now it has TXT name, surname, and save. Okay, I'm gonna bring them back one by one just to see why would I not have some of them. I'm gonna test. Now I've got gender and that, that. I'm gonna save. Now gender is there. I'm gonna do the same. Put back email. I'm gonna go to this again. I'm gonna type that. Save. Now I've got email is back. I don't know how I fix this because I'm not aware of what the problem was. But the code looked very fine, so I'm not sure why did we have those type of problems. Okay, so mobile is back. Let's try to now get rid of this at all and see if we're going to have our password. Okay, now I know what the problem was. It's because of this maybe, that they were of type name instead of type text, so that did not recognize them. Strongly believe that was the case. So the text area was okay and the name was okay, so that's why, most probably that's why. So let's try it again now and see what's going to happen. Button save, because the form has not been sent, so we're going to remove this guy here and say we know that he's the only he's the only submit button that we've got. So when we click him, we know the form can only be submitted via that. Or we can just add inside here and say do this only if is set post return save. Then this will make sure that all of this is found inside that. So let's push it a little bit so we can see. Then we can remove our dumping text because we have already tested this. Then we can remove those so that it can be able to now run. Then we can remove that so that it does not give us problems. Then our script is back to what we wanted it to be initially. Then we go to it and see, okay, we can remove the connected and only print when we've got errors. We can remove that and say if this is not true, then we can say, hey, tell us what's wrong. Then we go back to it again. It's going to remove the connected. Now we say maybe if we type my name, it's going to be able to give us the correct details. I believe here's my password, here's my comments. Save. This is user added. We go back there, we find out here's the user being really added. and does he have all the information? Then we've got all the information, but then remember that we said our information on the password should look something like this. So that's very easy. All you need to do is to go back to that, and on the password, say MD5, password, or when we're not there, on the password, change this to MD5 before giving it to this guy there, so we can be able to come here and hit refresh and continue. Let's go say user edit, and we go back and we view the password should be changed now to that, so that this is a translation of that. Okay, so that's it. We were able to take our information from the form and add it onto the database. Next tutorial, we are going to check on the database and create a login form. Then use that information to check if it exists on a database using the select, and then we can create a session for that or create a cookie for that, so that we can be able to use that in about 2 or 3 pages. Okay, that's it. Thank you.